Guys, look, it wasn't funny. Like, I had no idea I was going to survive that day. Like, I literally thought I was going to die. Hi guys, welcome to Nia's Gist Room, and it's another video from your girl to you. So today's date is 24th of December, and I can smell the Christmas everywhere. I can smell it. Christmas is just booming. So it's been a while. I see you guys, and I've missed you guys so much. Like, I missed you guys seriously. So I decided to come here and be with you guys for today. Hopefully I might be able to do another video before the end of the year, but if I'm not able to do any video before the end of the year, please pardon me and just watch this one, and we'll see next year. So guys, today I'm going to be talking about relationship, about my past relationship, what I went through in that relationship, and how I escaped. For some ladies who are trying their possible best to leave a toxic relationship, I think this is the video for you. So come in, and let's enjoy this video together. So my first year in school, I met this guy and I liked him. Yeah, I met him through a mutual friend. So we met through a mutual friend. So we, got talking, and then I was in school. I was in Cotonou and he was in Lagos. We got talking and we, started dating. So I noticed the guy was toxic when he first slapped me. So as naive as I was then, my advice for every girl who is like in her early 20s: find yourself first before going into a relationship. Get to know yourself, know your kind of person, and get to know about relationship before going into it. I didn't know anything as toxic relationship. I had no idea that men can actually hit women. So that was the first time I experienced something like that, and I was like, maybe he's angry, and this is just a slap. He might not go more than just a slap. So we continued into the relationship, and the love was there. It was booming until the first day. The first day he actually used his hand to hit me. Now guys, I'm not saying hand like per se. I'm talking about when you use cane, like belts, to hit a woman. I had swollen jaws, I had broken mouth, and it happened just like snap of my finger. I didn't know. I didn't know it was coming. I didn't see it. And I have been in that toxic relationship for years. Like I was in that relationship for up to 4 years. Like whenever we have issues, he start begging. Anytime he hits me, he start begging. In fact, he cries. He knew that, and he said he cannot live in the world without me. Like his world is the end. Let me tell you one thing about toxic people. Toxic people are very apologetic. Like they can do something and apologize. They'll get you gifts. They'll shower you with love after they finish hating you. That is one thing about toxic guys. They know how to pamper you. They'll hit you. They'll come back and pamper you, make you forget and forgive them. So was so naive. I didn't know what it means like for a man to raise his hand on a woman. And I didn't know that, oh, this is a crime. Yes, it's an offense. You don't assault people. It's an offense. It's, in fact, it's a criminal offense. I had no idea that it was a criminal offense. I felt like, okay, this guy was angry. He loved me and he was just acting out of, anger, not knowing that this guy was actually committing a crime. So that fateful day, as usual, I think, okay, I had a job that period and I didn't want to let him know because I was getting support from him back then in school. So you know how some guys can be now. Once they see that, oh, you're supporting you financially and you have other means, they might withdraw. So the place I was working was a hotel. Yes, so I didn't want him to know because I didn't want him to withdraw his support. So he suspected that I was doing something because I'm this kind of person that I don't know how to hide things. So he suspected and he paid me a surprise visit. So I could remember that day I was just coming back from work this early morning and I entered inside my room. Meanwhile, this guy stays in Lagos. I stay in Cotonou. So when I entered inside my room, I heard a door, like I heard a knock on the door. Immediately I entered inside. And I was like, who is this? Then he said, it's me. Let me use Joe. Let me say his name is Joe. Then I was like, who is knocking? I didn't even suspect that it was my boyfriend, you get. So I asked my friend, I said, who is knocking at the door by this time? She was like, it's Joe. I was like, Joe by this time. So due to the fact that I didn't want him to know, I quickly entered the bedroom and changed my clothes and came out and I welcomed him like a normal girlfriend welcome her boyfriend. So I didn't know he had a plan in his mind. I had no idea, like zero idea what this guy was planning. So I remember that was my free day, so I had to go and make my hair because I wasn't having that time to do my hair. I just started the work like not so long. That was like the first time I was free. My hair was looking so rough, so I needed to make my hair. So I told him, I entered the bedroom, I showered and I dressed up. I told him I need to go to the salon, and he was like, why would you go to the salon when I'm around? Don't you miss me? Don't you want to be with me? Don't you want to? I said, I do want to be with you. I want to spend time with you, but I need to make my hair. Like, he had no idea that, okay, this is my free day and I need to do something this day or it was never going to happen again. So he was like, no, we have to go spend time together. And I was like, okay, since that's what you want, I'm going to forfeit doing the hair for now, then later on I'll go make my hair. So we went to the hotel where he usually lodged, and next thing he told me to kneel down. Guys, look, it wasn't funny. Like, I had no idea I was going to survive that day. Like, I literally thought I was going to die that day because the threat was too much. He threatened me with a gun. He threatened me with a knife. Now, let me be frank with you guys. I didn't actually see those stuff, but he verbally told me that he has a knife and a gun in his bag. So I was scared. I was like, okay, before you do anything, let me talk to my family. Let me at least tell them goodbye, even if I'm going to die today. And he was like, no way, you're not going to talk to your family, you're not going to talk to anyone. I'm going to make sure I end this today. It's either you die or I die, or we just end this thing so that nobody would, leave. Guys, okay, hold on, guys. I needed to do something on my phone. So, guys, I was frightening. Like, I was scared. I've never been so scared in my life. Never been so scared in my life. So I was like, and the next thing he was like, okay, after I finish dealing with you, I'm going to call those guys in the other room to come and rape you. What? I mean, how can this thing be coming out from a guy that claims he loves me? Now, at that point, I started crying. I wasn't crying because of what he was doing. Like, I was crying because I was surprised that a man that I love could actually behave like this and could actually set me up to guys to come for guys to come and rape me. I started crying. I started begging. And okay, then he started flogging me with belts. He started flogging me, guys. He started flogging me with belts. Like, he tore my clothes. Like, you could see me half naked. Now, this was not funny. Like, I didn't know what happened in that hotel that day, and nobody heard me scream. Like, nobody heard me cry. I was crying alone or shouting alone. I mean, I think he planned it. Like, the room he went to lodge, I think he planned it because the room is kind of upstairs, and I think it's the far end of the upstairs. And I don't think people were much in that place. I don't even think anybody lodged in that particular staircase, sorry, that particular place that we were, because it was so quiet, and all my scream and shout and everything, nobody heard me. So when he was beating me, I was crying. I cried, and he now, I didn't, at that time that we entered that room, I didn't see that bag, that bag he was threatening me with. So I think he left it in another room. So while he was done beating me, he went to the other room to pick up that bag. And the moment he went to the other room to pick up that, like, the room is just the next room after our room. So the moment I just noticed, in fact, I didn't care how I was looking at that period. I just wanted to leave that place. Like, my clothes were torn. Like, he tore my clothes. I was literally half naked, guys. I just pushed the door. I went out, and the moment I was going out, he came back and he elbowed me with his hand and pushed me back. No matter what, you cannot be as strong as a man. So when he pushed me back, God, I fell down on the bed and I started bleeding. I started bleeding from my nose and my mouth. And it was more like the demon in him just, reduced. And he started shouting. He was like, did I hurt you? Baby, did I hurt you? Did I harm you? Did anything happen to you? Then he rushed me to the bedroom and washed my mouth for me, wash off the blood. I was like, is this guy normal? That was when I realized that he was under an influence of alcohol. So he had taken alcohol before coming. God, I was like, God, what did I get myself into? Now, mind you, that guy was the only boyfriend I had, and I'd like given up like everything in life for that guy. I gave him my time, I gave him attention, I gave him everything. But then he was so insecure. Like, he was insecure about some things, and he felt like, oh, I am not meeting up to these particular things. I feel like this lady is cheating on me. That was the issue. So after that, He started begging me. He knelt and he started crying. That is one thing about toxic people. God, they can't apologize. See, the way they will apologize to you, you have no choice but to just soften your heart and forgive them. Look, that is a trick. That is their trick. Don't fall for it. The moment you are saying you want to leave, you better leave at that time. Leave at that time. Do not waste your time. Leave. I see some people make mistake and go into marriage with those kind of people. It is very risky. Like, look, they will never change. It's not possible. Like, this thing started with just a slap. With a slap. So guys, please just stay tuned. I don't want to bore you guys with too much talk. Just stay tuned for my next video. I am going to give you exclusively what later happened in that relationship. Like I said, if you're in your early 20s, make sure you find yourself. Make sure you know yourself. Make sure you know your worth. Know your worth most especially before going into a relationship. Because men, if you don't know your worth, men are gonna treat you like trash. And you will have no choice but to just stick to them because you don't know your worth. So stay tuned for part 2. Have a lovely Christmas. Love you guys. Bye.